Hey, welcome to the first part of this React crash course. We are gonna build a time travel planner, but more importantly, we are gonna learn how to use React 19, why it is so useful, and how to make apps that work for everyone, including people using keyboards, screen readers, or high contrast mode. So I think it is amazing that you decided to learn React. If you are a beginner or if you just decided to refresh your knowledge and become a front-end developer, for example, this course is definitely for you. And also, this course is for you if you prefer to be explained different terms and things using simple language and simple real-life examples. So what is React? Imagine your app is a big Lego castle. You don't build it all in one go, right? You build little pieces, towers, doors, windows, and then stick them together. React lets you build apps like that, one piece or component at a time. And let's say a user clicks a button. Without React, you'd need to manually update every part of the screen that changes, kinda like being the only person in a theater changing the lights, the music, and the scene all at once. But React is like a super smart stage manager. It keeps a mental blueprint of what your app looks like. That's called the virtual DOM. And when something changes, it just updates the parts that matter super fast. So how it works? It compares the new version of that blueprint to the old one, like a spot the difference game, and figures out the smallest number of changes needed. Then it updates just those parts in the real DOM, the page you see, and making everything super smooth and fast. So how React works under the hood? React creates a virtual DOM, a lightweight JavaScript-based copy of the real DOM. When state or props change, React builds a new virtual DOM. It compares the new virtual DOM with the old one. This is called reconciliation. It finds the differences, like this text changed or this button moved, and React then updates only those parts of the actual DOM, keeping everything blazing fast and efficient. So why should you learn React? I think you made the right choice choosing React among all other different front-end libraries. I work already for many years with React, and I think it goes nowhere. It is going to be with us in the nearest future. It is updated constantly. There are always new features, and Facebook is behind it. React is used by companies like Facebook, Netflix, Airbnb, Shopify. It's everywhere. You'll see it in job listings, interviews, and in your browser more than you know. But also it just makes it easier to build cool stuff without losing your mind keeping track of state, logic, and UI updates. And one more thing. Nowadays, accessibility, in my opinion, is very important, and I think that we need to develop accessibility first mindset. That's why we are going to make sure everyone can use our app, whether they use a mouse, keyboard, or screen reader. Accessibility isn't extra, it's built in. So let's get your environment set up. We'll use Vite, Tailwind, and React 19, all lightweight, modern, and fast. So if you open your CMD, you can write npm create Vite latest time travel planner template React. Enter. We are not going to use TypeScript because I am not doing a course on TypeScript, and also I am not a fan of it because it just makes everything slower. So we are going to use just JavaScript. And that's it. Now we can go to our time travel planner and run npm install. So what is npm? Again, if you are a beginner, so these infos are for you. NPM stands for Node Package Manager. It's like an app store for JavaScript libraries, tools, UI components, frameworks that you can install into your project. When you run npm install, it fetches everything your app needs. And also you probably have seen that we didn't use create React app. So if you, for example, refresh in your knowledge, we used it before, but now create React app is deprecated because it's slower at starting and building projects, and it includes a lot of things by default you might not need. And now we used Vite. Vite is engine that is much faster. It uses modern JavaScript features and builds tools under the hood for instant start and speedy development. So less waiting, more coding. Now let's go to our IDE and actually clean everything that we have in our app. So yeah, now you can see that I opened our project in IDE, and I also ran already rundev npm rundev. And if everything was okay, then you should see Vite plus React in your localhost. Usually it's localhost 3000, but my localhost is now busy with something else. So now let's clean the starter template and replace app.jsx with better things. So you go to src, and in app.jsx there are many things that we don't really need in our project. So we are going just delete everything. And for example, we are going to return main. We are going to remove for now div, and we are going to use, for example, header 1 and say something like time travel planner. And then we going just to leave the text but write something like plan your next adventure. And we can delete everything from here, and we don't need for now any count or whatever. So you can also probably already notice that we don't need to import React anymore. And we can also, I'm going to leave it for now, but actually you can delete Vite and React SVG. We are not going to use them. We are building good semantic HTML that is right for accessibility reasons. For example, we are using main instead of div. And why is that? When you use a plain div, it doesn't tell anyone what its purpose is. It's just a box, kind of like a random house with no sign on it. But when you use main, you are saying, hey, this is the main content of the page. And now here is why it is the big part, and it has its reason why it should be so. Screen readers used by humans who are blind or have low vision, or just, for example, people who are away from the computer, they can jump straight to the main area, and they skip menus, headers, sidebars, and get right to the good stuff, the heart of the app. And that's awesome for accessibility because it helps users navigate faster, understand the layout better, and feel more included, of course. So while div is generic, main is semantic HTML, it has meaning, and screen readers love it. And also you can see that we are using here header 1. It's also really good for accessibility because every page should have header 1, because again, if you're using a screen reader, then that's the thing that is going to tell the user what this page is about. Sometimes they also can just get a list of all headers that page has, and that's how they also understand what content you have on this page. So I also mentioned that we are going to use React 19, and there is a small reminder for users that already learned React but didn't use React 19. So React 19 brings smarter use hook, async transitions for smoother UIs, server components, and Actions API for better form handling. So if you use, for example, React 18, there is no such big deal that you're going to see some super duper changes or something. So maybe the biggest change is server components, but they already existed actually for the last 2 years, so it's again not a surprise. So actually that's it for today. We just started and I think I explained already many things. If you have any other questions, so let me know in the comments and I'll explain some of it in the next videos. Next time we will build some components and cards. We will learn about props, components and making everything readable by screen readers. And yes, instead of using context API, I actually don't like it at all. We'll learn how to manage global state with Redux Toolkit, the modern and clean way. So see you in part 2. Don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really helps my channel and that's how more people are going to see this course. Thank you for watching and choose!